Well, on the 10th of this month, Wolverhampton Wanderers took on the side of Brentford, and that game of football was at the Molineux, and it was won by Brentford 2-0, where Ivan Toney went ahead to score another goal in another consecutive game, meaning that ever since he returned from where he was, has been really firing in goals. The other player that was there in action was Pedro Neto, and if you're an Arsenal fan, what comes to your mind when you hear Pedro Neto and Ivan Toney? All those are two players that Arsenal are really wanting to sign in the summer transfer window. And guess what? These players have been scouted again. Arsenal had scouts present when Ivan Toney's Brentford faced Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Pedro Neto. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. This is the Football News Show, and I hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is Rokani David onto this channel, and I hope you guys are really doing fun and really having the best that you guys deserve. Let's see close to 200 likes smash in this video, because we are talking Ivan Toney, we are talking Pedro Neto, we are talking Alonso's reaction after he went ahead obviously beat the side of Thomas Tuchel, that is Bayern Munich, over the weekend. And lastly, there is a very huge hint onto what the manager of Aston Villa is going to have to say after he lost to Man United by 2-1 at the Villa Park, taking his stretch of being winless in 3 consecutive games. So smash the like button, and we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum, and let's start it off with this. Now, we are having lots of things that are really going ahead in our place and positions, and here we come to obviously take us to where we deserve to be. Now, first and foremost, this is Grammy Bailey told us that Arsenal had scouts present at the Molineux Stadium to watch Pedro Neto and Ivan Toney play. Now, that game was played over the weekend, and hope you guys went ahead to obviously watch that game. It happened on it was a Saturday, and Pedro Neto went ahead to really create the first goal, and I think it was ruled out because of how he really went ahead to put it up. But against Chelsea, he was really electric, and Arsenal have gone ahead to scout Pedro Neto and Ivan Toney. Let me first talk about Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is really proving to many that Arsenal have a real reason as to why they're obviously getting to scout this guy. This guy is really 23 years of age, and he's really unreal. Swift left foot. All he needs is to keep himself fit, because if you've gone ahead to play 15 games and scored 2 goals and put up 8 assists, that means if you had gone ahead to play close to 24 games, then he would have gone ahead to be having more goals and more assists. But the most important bit of it all is the assists that he's endlessly putting up onto the game of football, because one of those things that Arsenal are really lacking in plenty are the assists. If you really have Pedro Neto playing on the Bukayo Saka side, that means it's going to be hard for Bukayo Saka to obviously be playing all those minutes. And even if you want to keep Bukayo Saka on, Pedro Neto can come in through and really play as a left forward, because everywhere you put him, he can play there. Whether the left or right forward roles, he can do them very well. And creativity has become primary in every beautiful game of football. And that's why you see to it that it's easy to score goals, but the assists making is really huge. And when you look at Arsenal, they've been scouting Pedro Neto. They wanted to sign him in the summer of 2022, but looked like the money had gone ahead to perish, and unluckily Pedro Neto went ahead to get an injury, and Wolverhampton Wanderers were calling money in north of £50 million, something that Arsenal couldn't offer. And remember, they were left with just £20 million to spend. £20 million to spend as they wanted to sign what's the name of that guy who plays for Nottingham Forest, known as Danilo, and Palmeiras were rejected. So that is it. And then in the January transfer window, they opted to go in for Mikhailo Modric. They never got him, so they went and spent £27 million on Leandro Trossard, and you've gone ahead to see how much Trossard has gone ahead to do for the side of Arsenal ever since he signed for them. Then later, they went ahead to bring in Jakub Kivio, and they added on Jorginho. But it shows you that they needed a player like that. Rafinha deal was rejected because Rafinha wanted to go to Barcelona, and right now Arsenal is looking in for Pedro Neto. And scouting Pedro Neto gives positive vibes to every Arsenal fan wherever you are, because you will never regret bringing this player on. The one thing that you'll ever regret is like maybe he won't be available. He'll miss like 10 games of the Premier League season, missing out, meaning that he can obviously show up on 28 matches. I think that won't be bad if at all you have a player who is going to act as a backup of Bukayo Saka, to get you 28 games in the Premier League. In the Champions League, he might obviously play all of them, because Champions League takes long to obviously start, and it really gets its return in February, like we are seeing tomorrow, when Man City is playing Copenhagen, Bayern Munich is in action, and very many other teams. So I think Arsenal have every reason to scout Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto and Ivan Toney. Good for Pedro Neto, because I'm really one of those people who believe that Arsenal need a player to compete with Bukayo Saka. Every time he's performing badly, you shouldn't keep him on the field of play. Bukayo needs to know that he can be taken off the field of play and someone else should be coming in through. You get? Unless otherwise, he has reached that level, because when you're having Lionel Messi and Ronaldo, the Benzemas, you don't take them off the field of play because they're going to hate to work for it. So at this juncture, Arsenal need a player who can really do that job very well. And when you look at Pedro Neto, the beauty of him is that he has that pace. He has that pace that if he comes in through off the bench, he will obviously pace into space and really go past or skip past all those players in there for you. So I really love everything that is really happening right now at the club of Arsenal, and their scoutings are really great. And one thing I really like about Arsenal is they start working on their transfers, after the summer. For Pedro Neto, he has been under their watch for a very long time, and what they did was, on Saturday, when he was playing against Brentford, they said, let's go and scout him. Though he never scored, but you really saw what he adds to the side of Arsenal if at all they sign him. Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to obviously declare who their summer transfer target is gonna be, but for the previous summer transfer target, for the previous summer transfers, they've always not reached or not ended much without pronouncing their summer transfer window target or their priority target. In 2021, it was Benjamin White. 2022, it was Gabriel Jesus. 2023, it was Declan Rice. Now for 2024, it's really gonna be hard for them to really announce who is gonna be, because all the players they're really looking at are really quality and they can be their summer transfer targets. Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney, Douglas Luiz, Zubimendi, Frankie de Jong, Pedro Neto. I don't know who is really gonna come in there for you. There is Onana at Everton and very many others. So we are here to wait and see who is gonna be the summer transfer target of Arsenal. But Pedro Neto was scouted. His numbers are really crazy. 2 goals and 8 assists in 15 games, meaning that he has a 10-goal contribution. And if you know what a 10-goal contribution means, you really have to sit down and really get to know that this guy is really great. Remember, he still has 14 more games to play for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And we don't know what exactly is going to be happening that side. So let's wait and see how that really pans out. But it shows you that he has gone ahead to really improve from what he was last season, because last season he played 18 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. This season he has gone ahead to obviously up his game, and it's up in the sky. That is Pedro Neto for you. Now let's go to Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney is another player who has gone ahead to come in through and is putting in crazy numbers, because he knows this is his time to shine, and he has to use this season to find himself a position out of the side of Brentford. His manager went ahead and confirmed to us that they are willing to obviously get him out. So he has gone ahead to play 4 games and he has gone ahead to score 3 goals. So he's left with, I think, he's left with 15 games to play to end the season. So if he can get 10 goals in trust me, teams will obviously have to bid highly for him, and Brentford really wants that to happen. Why do they want that to happen? Because they know to it that if he really puts in that much, then the rest is going to be history, and a lot is going to be put onto the table to obviously sign him. But ideally, I would see Arsenal first getting in Pedro Neto, because they need that player to come in through and really pile pressure onto Bukayo Saka, because you cannot rely on him. You know, there are games I've gone ahead to say that Arsenal have gone ahead to win, but because they've gone ahead to keep Bukayo Saka on, and we look at his skill set, let's all admit that Pedro Neto is a more talented player than Bukayo Saka, you know. And if at all he's producing such numbers at Wolverhampton Wanderers, that means when he comes in through at Arsenal, he'll obviously have a lot of space, playing with a team that's going to be having a lot of the ball, and the rest will be history. So he's that kind of guy who went ahead to score, I think, against Man United, and he's never stopping. That is Pedro Neto. But for Ivan Toney, I think Arsenal really have a lot to do, you know, on as far as signing strikers are really concerned. If you're really looking at Monreal, you know, who goes for like £45 million. There is Zakezi at Bologna, £50 million. There is Victor Osimhen, £105 million. Ivan Toney, £80 million. Vlahovic, £80 million. So Arsenal really has to sit down and really choose on who they are really going to get in. But I think if at all Ivan Toney's price is in £80 million, Arsenal might choose to obviously go in for maybe a Vlahovic, or add £20 million and get in Victor Osimhen, a more proven striker who is going to hate to do things at a different level altogether. Because sometimes you need to start bringing in world-class players that are going to hate to do it elsewhere to come and add their experience to the little that you really have acquired in your short spell as Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Leaving that, before I leave it, I know one will say, Rokani, you think these players need to be scouted? I tell you, scouts will always come and see you play on that official or artificially, because sometimes the game of football looks different from what we saw in the game of football. It feels different, and there are certain things that you really see on the pitch that you cannot see when that game is really live on television, because no camera is going to keep the entire 90 minutes on one player. But when you scout, you obviously understand your job better, and you continue doing the rest very well. So I think the reason as to why they have to obviously scout this player and come on the pitch and really watch him physically, it's because they know exactly what it means. You know, you have to know his conduct, how he acts, because amidst the talent, there are things that people underlook. Some of the things that people are going to hate to underlook is what we call the mentality. And how do you get to know the mentality? You get to know the mentality of the player by seeing him physical on the field of play, because these scouts have really gotten huge experience. So that's why they really went at the pitch to obviously go ahead and really see that guy. Now, Unai Emery yesterday lost to Man United by 2-1, and he has come out and really spoken loads about this game of football. And this time round, he has gone ahead and said, we control the game and we try to get good positioning with chances. They have good players and a good goalkeeper, but I was in the first half in the dressing room and I said, this is the way, even when we were losing. So they played very well, and we've seen them do that against Man City, against Arsenal, but they've already scored one goal. They scored one goal against Arsenal, they scored one goal against Man City, and luckily they got, because these teams never went ahead to score a single goal in those games, meaning that for a team that came and scored two, the team had to win that game of football, because they hadn't gone ahead to put 2 goals past the side of Man United, past the side of Chelsea, past the side of Arsenal and Man City. So that is Aston Villa for you. Even in the midweek, last week, when they lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup, all what they had to offer was to score 1 goal, and Chelsea scored 3, meaning that they are not really good when it comes to playing teams that really are stronger and having better quality players. Even they're playing in Newcastle. You saw what happened. They lost 3-1. That's what they could only do, meaning that scoring 1 against teams in their league is what they can do. And I don't want to see him really complain about it. All he has to do is that they should find themselves better, scoring very many chances that they create. I really admit they went ahead to create very many chances yesterday, but they couldn't really kill any of those off to obviously get themselves in a better position of really being the best team or the best side on the game. So he really went ahead to obviously mourn like that, and that's what he paid for, and that's what he really came in for to do. And I think he shouldn't really mourn more and more and more. Let's go to Germany. In Germany, we had a side called what is it called? We had the side called Bayern Munich losing to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost to Bayern Munich lost to Bayern Leverkusen by 4-3, and the manager Xabi Alonso came out and really said the following. I think I did a story yesterday when I really gave you a deep analysis of how that really went down and what Harry Kane and the manager Thomas Tuchel really had to say. But the manager has come out and really told us the tactics he used to obviously outweigh or outbeat the side of outcompete the side of Bayern Leverkusen. He said, I had in the back of my mind that now they had Kim. Now Upamecano was getting fit, so that they had 4 centre backs. They could play a back 3. Thomas Tuchel has played brilliantly with that system, so we are ready to control that as well. From the 4-2-3-1 to 3-4-3, and I think we have controlled well to find the right momentum, when to press, when to wait, how could have the ball, how could not have the ball. And defensively, for me, it was an outstanding performance. For me, the defensive work for Nathan Taylor, Flo Wittis, and Amini Adil has been fantastic. Those are his 3 central defenders, because he plays with the 3-man central defense. They choose the right time to go and press the center back. When they needed to cut the passes to the midfielders, they were not jumping to the 6 and creating the space. Musiala and Sane were waiting to find the space. Ken was dropping. He likes to drop. So we have taken many right decisions when and where to press, and because of what we have been able to control the game most of the time without the ball. So he has gone ahead to explain to us what they really had to do to really win this game of football, and they went ahead to win it handsomely, and it really went down in history well for them. They've gone ahead to beat them twice in the season, and it is really very awkward. And Thomas Tuchel, I think he's really in jeopardy, but people have not gone ahead to come out and really say that. I've seen reports coming in from Germany that even if Bayern Munich is knocked out, they are going to keep him as a manager. And I ask myself then, if Bayern has gone ahead to obviously reach that level, then they shouldn't even be calling themselves top teams, because their philosophy was all about sacking managers. But I think it's hard for them to obviously gate a classy manager, And I read the story that Jose Mourinho is learning German. So you never know. They might even try to get in Jose Mourinho and see how he performs at that side of Bayern Munich. Lazio is the team that Bayern Munich is going to be playing tomorrow in the UEFA Champions League. And I just can't wait and see how they're going to perform. But it looks like they need to raise up to the occasion. So guys, your thoughts on Arsenal double scouting Pedro Neto and Ivan Toney are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about everything that's been said about this guy? So Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Hope you've gone ahead to really enjoy the video, and if at all you've gone ahead to and you haven't subscribed to this channel, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing that, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. I'm out. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fik.